there are folks in similar industries to me and even different industries that give me a 15, 20-year head start on success that I don't even know is out there.
He had over $80 million exit. He's going to be talking about that at breakfast tomorrow. Where else do you get that? Like, how would you get that guy on the phone? It's never going to happen.
You're not. Somebody will post, guys, and within an hour, there's 28 answers to that post. That's phenomenal. And it's like, when else do you have your competitor opening up their playbook?
Mindshare by itself is undervalued because when things are tight and stressful, the creativity gets snuffed out.
You've said this before. I've said it. I know Chris has said it. Success isn't as difficult as you make it out to be. Blue Collar Millionaire makes it easier for you to be successful.
America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
Yeah.
This was great today, a lot of stuff. You know, I'd like to talk about, maybe we do a new one, but I think a lot of people ask about raising money, how you go about it. We were kind of talking about that. But if you want, I think you're just a perfect example of, when we were talking, we were like, you know, here's one thing I said, because people used to ask me to borrow money, like employees and work friends, whatever. And I used to say to them, because I got this from my mentor a long time ago, or he used to say, so basically, like, if the bank doesn't want a bank, that's all they do all day is figure out if they're going to lose money on you. They're not interested.
That's correct.
But you want me to be interested. Like, why
Help
do
me
that?
understand how this makes sense.
Yeah.
And a great analogy is like dating. Like, if you want to, let's say a guy wants to meet a woman, they're single. If they get in good shape, they get a good income, they're a quality guy, they're not drunk all weekend, they're positive. Think of all those things. That was pretty basic stuff. What guy do you know that has all those things that doesn't have women interest in him? I don't know anyone. I know a lot of guys who don't have those things and they never get it.
That's right.
It's the same thing with attracting money and deals. You have to be attractive. You have to have a track record. You've been able to manage money. You have some of your own, because if the same mentor used to say, if somebody doesn't have any money, how are they going to make money with my money?
That's correct.
They can't make money on, anybody can turn 1,000 into 2,000. So, but turning 200,000 into 400 is way harder.
It is.
I like what you said about attracting. You do attract what you're ready for.
That's correct.
And going back to the whole relationship thing, I mean, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, that's going to attract a certain type of character. And you got to look and see what are you putting off? What are you attracting?
That's
because most they're wanting the money, but they're not attracting it because they're not ready for it.
We know a lot of people want to buy a business, but they don't want to. They just want to. They're not really. I wouldn't call them business owners. They're more unemployable. They don't want a boss. So they get this idea. I'm just going to get a buy, but they don't want any skin in the deal. I don't want to like work 80 hours a week for 2 years, save up money, and have some money. I want you to give me the money. And just risk it. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. No. You know, but when you look at what you did, like, this is the first time I'm meeting Ricardo. Talked to him several times, and I talked to Patrick, never met him. But you guys presented yourself so well on the Columbia deal. I remember the Zoom, because I remember getting off and I was thinking, I might not do that deal, but I would do something with these guys. You were so prepared. You had all the numbers in. I was asking a lot of questions. They were just banging them out. And we've all had people where they don't know stuff. Oh, I got to ask my partner. I'm not a numbers guy. Okay, well, I'm not a guy who's going to write you a check either.
You need to get off the phone.
I'm not a numbers guy. Okay, call's over. You better know your numbers. You're just making me.
That's right.
Totally. I hate that. So when you did this, I didn't do that deal with you. You guys end up doing it. Then you go do other things. It's the same story. Guys that I've invested with, they're so prepared. Like, I have a guy I bought a roofing business with. He brought 2 other businesses to me before. He was so prepared on the call. And then we were going to do the second deal. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was definitely a good deal. And then he said, I don't think I want to do that. I think I can get something better. He wasn't thirsty. It was just, he raised my confidence in him. I'm like, now we're definitely doing something. Then he brought something that was a little better. And he said, I just think this is perfect. Let's do this one. And I was like, I love that. Done.
Yeah, I always like to think of it like this. You know, people want to bet the jockey, not the horse. It's because when you invest in the right deal and the operator who's running it, you have somebody like me. I'll lose sleep if the deal's not going right.
Yeah.
It'll be my bad day, not yours. I will wake up in the morning and be like, I'm sweating this. I need to figure this out. And so as a result, when you have that fiduciary responsibility, you don't want to let people down, not the least of which yourself. You're going to throw yourself on it. And it's like everybody we talk about all the time. Who's the best president of the United States? It's the one who wants it the least. It's the one who doesn't want the office because they know that if they have to do it, they'll rise to the occasion. And so as it relates to that, Kevin, well, first off, thanks for the compliment. And we threw ourselves at that to understand it. So we showed up as prepared as possible. And you know what? Everything worked out the way it did. And we better understood numbers over a period of time. And we got very familiar with what it looked like to raise capital. And to do it from friends and family is a very particular thing. You have to be very careful with that. And so you have to be as transparent as possible, but you also have to be willing to jump on the grenade and to tell people, no, this is not a good deal. Because trust me, here's what will happen. People will see your success. They'll come to you. And this is where I think a lot of people lose their shirts and they get in trouble. People will see your success. They'll come to you and they'll say, I want to invest with you now. And now you see it as an opportunity. I'm going to capture an acquisition fee or asset management fee. But if the deal doesn't produce enough, you should say no. And the right thing to do is to say no. If it doesn't pencil in, thank you for your offer of trust. And I appreciate that. Now is not the right time because I can't reciprocate to you what you need right now. You got to stand strong on that.
That's great. I got some more stuff because I think we can really help guys.
Yeah.
So you did that. And then Chris, you probably had this. I've had people, they'll literally screenshot a Best Buy sell to me. What do you think of this? I don't know. You give me a job. You tell me, like, what do you want me to do? Yeah, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Or
what do you think
there's
of this?
guys in our group, is there money in this? There's money in everything if you do it right.
Yeah.
Like, what's the question now?
Yeah.
Hey, I've done this amount of research and this is what I'm looking in. Who can help me or who would be helping me do conversation? That's great. Just, is there money in pressure washing? Like,
I saw
is there money in gutter cleaning? I mean, a lot of it.
Yeah.
I know guys who made no money.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Our windshield partners, I saw where Mike had commented on one of the posts in BCM, and he said, somebody asked something like that, is there money in this industry? And he said, here's what I've found. There's money in every industry, but most people are looking at it from a scarcity mindset, and they're not pulling out. And he said, this even happened when we bought the windshield business. They were banging their heads trying to figure out how do they grow it. And then all of a sudden they were able to see a different avenue, and then it just started skyrocketing. And it goes back to that point. You can make money in any industry.
Anything.
If you get creative enough. And he used the analogy of the blue and red ocean. And he was like, everybody sees the blood in the water, so they're going towards it. And that's the worst area to go to try to get your piece. But if you'll go out here and find what nobody else is fighting for, and that's tough. It takes a ton of what you're talking about, research and understanding the market and the industry so that you can be able to see those creative angles.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too, kind of going back to what you were talking about. I think an appropriate question should be something like, hey, I know you owned a gutter cleaning company before, or you do. I'm looking at this P&L. Is this labor cost? Is this percentage of labor in line with what you've seen? Mm-hmm. Now, that's a specific question, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we want to encourage folks to, that's a great question, because guess what? That doesn't require a lot of your mind share. You know it off top. Hey, if that's W-2 and 42% of labor, whatever it may be, right? 42% is the dry cleaning standard for W-2. That looks a little higher. That looks a little low. Get on my calendar and we could talk about it a little bit more. And now that shows that the operator is willing to go 1, 2, 3 steps in to get a little messy with things and to demonstrate that vulnerability. But it's like you talked about. I completely, that resonates with me, is you can make money in any sector. Go to the path that's less traveled and make your mark there if you can. There's a lot of opportunity there. Now, sometimes people don't know it, but you can't be afraid to get a little bit dirty and figure this out, you know?
So here's a thing I say to it could be a young guy, it could be a guy my age. It doesn't matter. Say you just don't have that much money or in your W-2 or whatever. If I wanted to get into an industry and I don't have money to buy that business, I think it's a good thing. Let's say you say I'm going to do roofing.
Yep.
Because I did something like that. I had I had all these apartment complexes for gutters. This is like 20 something years ago. I didn't know really anything about roofing, but I knew they needed roofs. So I brought on 2 guys as subs. But I did something different. I started like taking them out to lunch. One guy used to like to drink. I'd get him drinks. I would sit there and drink a Diet Coke and just pepper them.
Yeah.
And I was just asking him questions. He knew so much about roofing. He could like forget more than most people could ever learn. And I would just ask him. I mean, I got up to speed in like 3 weeks on like how all material, everything. And he would just sit there because people like to be experts. So that's one way. But if I was this guy, I would go and become a roofing salesman or something. Yeah. I'd say, I'm going to be number one in this company. Like, I'm going to kill this door knock, sell. I'm going to learn everything about roofing, and I'm going to do this very quickly. Yep. 6 months, I'm going to be on fire here. Surge. And then I'm going to do this for a year and a half or two. I'm going to do this. Now, when that person goes to buy a roofing business, first of all, they got a little bit of money. They got confidence because they're looking at that roofing business like, I know what I can do to this. 100%. And if they go to an investor like one of us and say, hey, I have this roofing deal. The guy wants 200 down. I did this seller financing. I got 40. But this is my background. This is my track record. This is what I'd be interested in that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've told that to several people who've asked things and then they don't do it. So it's like, if you're not willing to do that, you don't really want to do it.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Be humble. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Mm-hmm. I learned from other people by default. Like back in landscaping days, I learned pavers by working Sundays for a guy. Mm-hmm. I was getting paid to do pavers with him, and he was doing high-end projects, and I learned it. Then I got a job on myself. I did not feel comfortable it was like a $10,000 job, which was a lot back then. I brought him in to do it with me. And I remember I was doing it. I'm like, I'm probably not ever going to need him again. I'm good now. I got this. Mm-hmm. I needed that confidence. And next thing I know, I just started doing my own. That's just a smart way to do things.
Absolutely. And when you think about that, there's a psychology of learning too. And this gets a little bit into a more gray area. But when you devote yourself to learning something, you establish yourself as significantly stronger in that field. Therefore, you can achieve more success in that field. And even if that is, I don't understand a certain aspect, cool. Spend the next 5 days, open up 2 books, listen to 3 podcasts, but write a game plan, put a game plan together. On my first interaction with a bank, I literally wrote down and had a robotic script, and I read off this script it was Tucson Old Pueblo Credit Union. I'll never forget it, Ken Croft. I called Ken up. I was in the parking lot, and here's what I needed. I needed a loan on a multifamily apartment complex. I didn't know how to ask for it, but I had read a little bit. This was a little bit before ChatGPT. And I put my words together, and it said something like, hi, my name is Ricardo. I called it a jumbo loan. I said, I'm looking for a jumbo loan. And I rattled off all the terms. I said, I'm looking for a 30-year amortization, 6% interest rate, no prepayment penalty, less than a 1-point origination fee. And I don't want to put down any more than 25% on the deal, 75 LTV. And I stood quiet, and I was waiting on him to laugh. And he ponders for a minute, and he comes back, and he's like, I think we could make something like that happen. Tell me about yourself, though. And I was like, well, I could do that. But it just goes to show you that taking the action to want to speak in a certain manner and to learn an industry is probably the most challenging step for many people.
Oh, absolutely.
Once you're there, you're going to learn that it's not that cosmic. And business ownership is very similar. If you're a problem solver, if you're somebody who is okay taking on different tasks, and you're willing to put yourself in a room with folks who are thinking like this, who are iron sharpens iron, this is probably the industry for you. Go down that path, see what it has. And as you said, to your credit, Kevin, if you don't have the liquidity for it, then that's okay. Figure out how you can get some. Be transparent about who you are, your vulnerabilities. Don't sugarcoat anything. Don't put lipstick on a pig. And then ask for what you need. Because you never know. Someone on the other end of the line could be looking for somebody to say, you're going to cowboy this deal. You're going to run it. Are you okay with that? Can I see your past performance? Have I known you for a period of time? And if you are who you say you are, then you could have a deal there. And that's important.
I love that because everybody's in different seasons. Everybody's in different processes of the game. And so we're all looking for something.
Yeah.
But we're all scared of rejection. We're all scared of our ego getting hurt because we may look stupid in the moment because we call a loan a jumbo loan or something, you know?
Yeah.
But,
nobody cares.
but you get
no one
out
cares.
there and you take the risk. And at the end of the day, I'm surprised you even remember it because most of the time you don't even remember that stuff.
Exactly.
After when you start winning, it's like, I can't believe it took me so long to even ask the question.
And now you don't sweat the small things anymore. Yeah. You're like, it's going to be fine. We're going to be okay. It's not.
And look for opportunities are cool. I'll tell you one. You probably don't know I did this, but I was a GP in an apartment complex.
Okay.
Javier Hinojo. know if you know, he was buying a bunch of properties in like 2021, 22.
Yep.
And I was somewhat friends with him. I was in a mastermind with him, only had a few conversations. He put a post up one day, said, if somebody puts up earnest money, I'm guaranteeing it's secure. You'll get it back, get a return, but then you can have like 2% of this thing, and I'll walk you through the whole thing. I thought this was really cool. So I text him. I said, I'll give it to you. And he's like, done. And he said, later on, he told me I'm the only person that did it. So basically, I gave him, I think it was $135,000. You could say, oh, well, you need $135,000. You can do it with something, other piece of value.
That's correct.
I did it. He did it. I got the money back, I got the return. I still have a couple percent of that. But I walked through all the due diligence, every call, everything, and get to call myself GP and everything. But I learned so much on a very big deal, because I'm not foolish enough to go try to buy a 350 apartment unit complex by myself in another state. It's not going to go well. And that deal went really well, but I learned so much from it. But I think I would have had too big an ego at 25 to do that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nah, I'm doing this myself. I'm not being this little 2%.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important to do it. Another thing just on guys is show what you're doing without bragging. You can show and document what you're doing on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect example is two guys who are doing it who will be there today, Mike Burns and Brendan Pepper. That guy, he buys like 3 properties a week. He's at the closing table almost every day on a post.
Yeah.
But he's not doing it in a bragging way. He's documenting a thing. I have no idea what kind of car he drives. I don't see Rolexes or anything, but I know he's doing a lot. And he's actually humble. He's doing more in real life because I know him.
Oh, yeah.
So if that guy's raising money and everything, because he's an expert at it, because people are just attracted, they want to get in with him.
Yep.
Where other guys do the opposite. They're not doing things, and then they try to act like they're doing things. People see through that.
People see through that so quickly.
The people that you think you want, the people who are doing really well, they know that you're not.
Yep.
And they don't say anything. They're just not going to invest with you.
Yep.
And the people who are really impressed because you got this cool car and everything, they don't have any money to invest anything. He knows this.
Yep.
He wants guys like you and me to say and I've given Mike Burns money and I got it back.
Yeah.
And he made money on it. It's it's so important. He was on our podcast too.
Yeah.
Just document what you're doing. Be you. Be open, just like you were with the lenders.
Yep.
Tell people where you're at, where you're strong.
100%.
And they want to do deals too.
Yeah.
They'll say, okay, well, even if they say, hey, this is a problem right now, you're going to have to get this credit up and everything. Yeah. Then go do it.
Then you have a game plan.
Then you have you're stronger.
You can work on, as opposed to analysis paralysis for that period of time. You're still at home scrolling, and going back to your point, hey, would you rather own 1% of a watermelon or 100% of a grape? Think about that concept for a moment. The larger deals, with an appropriate team, you can mitigate your risk in many respects.
100%.
Because when you think about it, we have a tendency to overestimate our abilities sometimes. And so if you go into your first deal and you say, this is all mine, and you pour your life savings into it, there's a likelihood that could go wrong. And so when you are able to partner up with somebody else with the mindshare and the knowledge and the expertise, they've done this before, the bank is going to see it as a mitigator of risk. You should as well.
The mindshare by itself is undervalued.
Oh, yeah.
Because when things are tight and stressful, the creativity gets snuffed out.
And you're not thinking
without
about that
your
anymore.
Creativity, you're not going to be able to move as fast and fix the issues.
Yep.
So we have seen that with the windshield business. We've seen it with Blue Collar Millionaire. Just the ability for us, if we're not feeling that great, if we need to be out of town with family, whatever the case is, someone else is there.
Yep.
It's massive play. I've seen that multiple times in my life at this point.
Huge.
I can never go back to that where everything relies on me and stop. You don't need to.
No.
You don't need
it's too much. You don't need to.
But it's just,
you don't need to.
It's a stressful life.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Got to trust in other people to do it.
Yeah.
So just last part, what are you doing with Blue Collar Millionaire? I know. Tell the audience what you're doing. And
yeah, I'm excited about this, guys. So I'm the member success coordinator for Blue Collar Millionaire now. And I feel, I'm in a privileged position to work alongside you guys, because I don't just throw myself at any opportunity. It's got to qualify for me. And this one does. And it does because of the level of authenticity you guys have brought to the table, the value that you've added. I've had so many conversations with you over the phone, man. I don't know if you remember them, Kevin, but I called you up, man. I was in the bank parking lot one time in 2021, and I said, I know NOI over cap rate is a value for multifamily, but what about business? And you said, hey, that's a good question. Let's talk about this, right? And you did that you never charged me anything for that, Kevin. And I remember that, man. And when I think we had dinner in Tupelo, Mississippi, almost 7 or 8 months ago now, and you treated me for a nice dinner, Chris. And these are tenets and attributes that I want to demonstrate as well. And so as the member success coordinator, my capacity is ever changing, and I can tell because I know the vision continues to change, but I'm here to help organize things a little bit and to usher members towards the right education tools and resources. This group has 262,000 members. It's unreal, especially coming from 100. I never got that welcome email at 100. You know what I mean? I didn't get the systems at 100,
There was none.
There was none.
Exactly.
But that's the beauty of it. The trajectory of BCM has grown so much. There's so much value. I'm talking to around 10 to 20 members a week now.
Wow.
Over the phone, Teams calls, DMs. We're talking about how they can buy their own business. We're talking about things like how they seek some additional mentorship. We're talking about the success and the power behind the boardroom elite and how iron sharpens iron. And just being here, there's a level of energy that exists, man. I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about tomorrow. I've got problems I want to bring to the table and get your guys' opinion on. And this is something that is so valuable. You go out there and you can't find folks who are talking like this, who are, tip of the spear. And so, I'm excited to work with the members. There's a strong team of BCM who are really trying to just give value to the member. And so because there's so much going on, for the members listening, I want them to know, hey, I'm available. I'm a resource. Ask me the question. If I don't have the answer, I'll look it up. And when I do look it up, I'll make sure it's looked up and I give you the evidence that I found that, and we can try to steer you in the right direction. And then not only that, I'm going to be very transparent about the journey ahead and kind of what's going on, the opportunities that are privy to me, just as a representation to let Blue Collar Millionaire members know what's out there. Because we talked about this so much on today's episode is the courage that it takes to be vulnerable, to step in, to ask those questions. That's all you got to do. Just do it. And you will find that there is a group. I mean, somebody will post, guys, and within an hour, there's 28 answers to that post. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Somebody will post, and within an hour, there's 5 other plumbers in their city that they can use synergy and get better. They didn't know before.
Yeah. And it's positive. It's not trash talk.
It's not trash talk.
Yeah.
And it's like, when else do you have your competitor opening up their playbook in certain instances? I saw this the other day. It was in Tampa. Plumber posted, I have an issue with this. Yeah. And competitor speaks up and says, I'm out here. Holler at me. Man, imagine if they would have never done that. So post, get interactive. You've got a group of folks and resources that are willing to help you and to structure it for your success. And that's kind of what I wanted to mention with respect to Member Success Coordinator for today.
That's a true abundance mindset. Like, me helping you isn't going to stop my business. I had that when I was young. I don't want to help somebody in my area. I'll help somebody that's not going to be in the same area as me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Just help people.
If they're
It all
do it,
comes
they're gonna
back.
do it.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. They're going to do it anyway. And we'll just build a friendship and it works out.
100%.
But so we were talking about our tribe before. Yeah. And today we're going to meet a lot of that tribe in person. And we're doing that 3 times a year now. I think that everybody wants that. Chris and I have had great luck being in groups like that and building trumps, how we met each other. And I think that so many people they're home at night and they need that connection.
Yep.
So that's really what we're trying to do. So kind of let's talk about what we're going to be doing this weekend and how people can get involved in that. Because if you told me that 15 years ago, there's like a group of blue collar guys, but they're like smart and high level and guys who've maybe done everything I want to do in my life, and they're 100%. There and you could just ask them questions. I would have probably jumped on a plane like the next day for
100%. And that's what I did. Look, this weekend, there are folks in similar industries to me and even different industries that give me a 15, 20-year head start on success that I don't even know is out there. There are folks sitting across from me at the dinner table, sitting across the table in front of a whiteboard who are sharing best practices and success factors for your success. And it's in plain view. You've said this before. I've said it. I know Chris has said it. Success isn't as difficult as you make it out to be, Blue Collar Millionaire makes it easier for you to be successful. Think about all the resources that it has right now. It is its very own chat GPT in many respects. You can go into Facebook and you can hit search and you can put in dry cleaner and you'll see all my old posts. You'll see other DC's posts. If you go put Facebook ads, Google ads, you will find it. And it's not just a made up thing. It's somebody who's failed and succeeded. And this weekend is about getting a peek into what that success looks like. And, you know, there's not other rooms that people are as diligent about being here because this is about skin in the game. I had to travel to get here. So when I sit at that dinner table, I'm not on my phone.
Away from your family.
I'm away from my family. I'm here because I want to be here. And the people in the room, the killers, people who are really doing a phenomenal job in their own industry, are in the same exact room. That is more valuable than any education you can find elsewhere.
There's a guy coming who's a friend of ours, Jonathan Wield, who does whole life and policies, key man policies for us. He had over $80 million exit. He's flying in from Denver based on our relationship with Jonathan. I already talked to him, did an hour Zoom, had a phenomenal exit and talked about it. He's going to be talking about that at breakfast tomorrow. Where else do you get that? Like, how would you get that guy on the phone? It's never going to happen.
You're not. You see these people paying for their, people paying for an hour with Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah.
You know, you see these types of things, and we're in a room full of 15 to 30 folks who are doing this actively. And talk about active. That's relevant, right? It's one thing to hear from somebody who exited 15, 20 years ago, who rode off into the sunset. We're talking people who have actively done it through standards, through policy procedure that they've implemented in their own business and scale. Like, I don't know, I got on that Facebook Live the other day on door knocking, man. And I left and I was like, I need to do more door knocking. It's been on my mind. I'm thinking about these things. So yeah, I'm excited. And I didn't know that was taking place tomorrow. So look, these things are, you know, there's opportunities that aren't even there that are continuing to be presented. So this weekend is about sharpening your knife. It's about putting yourself in a better position. It's about connecting the dots that you can't see otherwise, that we're essentially going out with a playbook and saying, here's the playbook for your success. And we can make that happen.
And building relationships, that's somebody pays Patrick Bet-David and they might get a lot of stuff for an hour, but you never call them again. You're never going to talk to them. When you build relationships through these weekends,
it's huge.
Yeah. You can call, just like we built a relationship without even meeting. And if you call me that time, I answer the call, or you text me, I'm going to respond to it. I got your number in there. I like you. Like, what's up? How can I help you?
Absolutely. And
Chris and I, we all understand that. We have those relationships.
Yeah.
I didn't have them for so long. So then you're on your own. It's stressful.
Yeah.
The fastest way, we talk about doing this when we buy businesses now, a lot of times partners will come to me and ask me a question. And as soon as they're talking about it, I'm like, I already know what we're going to do here. Because it's like, this is going to be my 11th time going through it. The first time I got my teeth kicked in. The second time, third time I kind of got it. Fourth time, I'm good. I'm on 11 now.
You're good,
I don't need them getting their teeth kicked in on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just tell you how this is going to play out. We can just do this and get back to business.
100%. Yeah, I love that. I'm excited about it, man. It's gonna be great.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Awesome.